Questions 1 through 10 on the 2009 Grade 9 Pascal Math Contest. What is the value of 2 times 9 minus the square root of 36 plus 1? Well, as always, order of operations, right? You have bed mass, which I'm sure you know, brackets, exponents, division, multiplication, and subtraction. So in this one, I guess there's no brackets, there's no exponents, so the first one is multiplication, so that's 18. And then exponents, you can kind of think of 36 as 36 to the power of a half. So I guess you could have done that first, but I don't think it makes a difference. So this is just 18 minus 6, which is 12, plus 1, which is 13. So number 1, the answer is D. The graph shows the number of hours Deepit worked over a 3-day period. What is the total number of hours that he worked on Saturday and Sunday? Saturday, he works 6 hours, and Sunday, according to the graph, he worked 4 hours. So the total amount of hours he worked on Saturday and Sunday is 6 plus 4, which is 10. So number 2, the answer is E. The cost of 1 piece of gum is 1 cent. What is the cost of 1,000 pieces of gum? Well, 1,000 cents. But 1,000 cents is not an answer. They've converted everything to dollars. So to convert cents to dollars, you have to divide by 100, and that would give you $10. So number 3, the answer is D. There are 18 classes at Webster Middle School. Each class has 28 students. On Monday, 496 students were at school. How many students were absent? So 28 times 18 is the total number of students, and that is 504. Now, of the 504, 496 were at the school, so if you subtract that, you get the number of students that were absent, and that is 8. So number 4, the answer is A. In the diagram, the value of x is, so 4x plus 5x plus x plus 2x, all of those have to equal 360. So this is going to be 9 plus 3, 12x is equal to 360. And dividing through by 12, 360 divided by 12, x will be equal to 30 degrees. So number 5, the answer is D. What is the value of negative 1 to the power of 5 minus negative 1 to the power of 4? So negative 1 to the power of 5 is negative 1, minus negative 1 to the 4 is just 1. So we have negative 1 minus 1, which is negative 2. So number 6, the answer is A. In the diagram, triangle PQR is right angled at Q, PQ is horizontal, and QR is vertical. What are the coordinates of Q? Well, if you look at Q, obviously we'll have a x-coordinate and a y-coordinate. The x-coordinate will be the same as the x-coordinate of R, right? It's along the same x-coordinate like that, top and bottom. So that's going to be a 5. The y-coordinate will be the same as the y-coordinate of P, right? Because it's along the same line as y equals 1. So there you go. 5, 1 is the coordinate for Q, and therefore number 7, the answer is C. If y equals 3, then the value of y to the power of 3 plus y all over y squared minus y. Well, I guess you just plug it in. I don't see any reason to factor in all that. It probably takes more time to do that, if that is even possible. So just plug it in, make it simple. So 3 to the power of 3 plus 3 all over 3 to the power of 2 minus 3. So that's 27 plus 3 all over 9 minus 3, 30 over 6, which is equal to 5. So number 8, the answer is D. In the diagram, any club may be moved to any unoccupied space. What is the smallest number of clubs that must be moved so that each row and each column contains 3 clubs. Okay. So I guess we have to fiddle around with this. We have to create a scenario where every column and every row has exactly 3 clubs. I guess I don't know if they have not used the word exactly, but I'm pretty certain that's what they mean. All right. Well, after fiddling around and looking at this, the way it works is that you keep this guy, because that makes that row 3. And this one, that would also qualify. But then these ones and the bottom one don't qualify yet, but this one does. So far I'm okay. And remember, I took out this one, so I'll put a circle around it. I had to take that out in order to make it qualify for both this row and this column. Now let's look at the columns. This one is okay, this one is okay, that one is okay, and that one is okay. The only one that's a problem is this row and this column. So in order to fix that, obviously, the one that I took out, which was this guy, I will put it here. And if I do that, I think my problem is solved for that row and that column. But there's one other row that there's a problem, and that's this one right here. That one, it only has 2 x's. So the one that I had removed from here, which is over here, this guy right here, I gotta put that somewhere to make that row and that column, I should say. And obviously I'm gonna put it here. Yeah, I think that makes everything work. So I took this guy here and I put it here, and I took this one and I put it here. And if that is the case, let's just double check if everything works out. This row is fine, this row, second row is fine, this row is now fine, and the last row is fine. And then the columns, that last column also has 3. So there you go. So the number of moves that I made was 2. So 9, the answer is B. Z is 4, x plus y is 7, x plus z is 8. What is the value of x plus y plus z? So I guess if x plus z is 8 and z is 4, I can quickly calculate x, which is 4. And then sub it back into x plus y is equal to 7. And I get 4 plus y is equal to 7, and therefore y is equal to 3. And then now finally x plus y plus z is pretty straightforward. That's just 4 plus 3 plus 4, and that is equal to 11. So number 10, the answer is C.